Hello, everybody. I'm Corey Taylor.
And I'm Dr. Gina Pazzaglia.
And this is
Happy,
Healthy, and Crazy. Today we have an amazing topic.
And that is, I know you know what it is because you do it all the time.
Right. Yes, I do.
Yes.
I actually do like to do it. And today we're going to be talking about binge watching. That's right. We're going to be talking about binge watching. And how did you know? I'm going to let you start.
You always call me and be like, I've been seeing this series and I've been sitting there for 5 hours watching it. I'm like, what?
Binge watching is the ultimate thing. Like Netflix, I think Netflix need to get more content because you could literally binge watch Netflix and probably be done in like a month or two.
Well, I don't know. I don't binge watch, so it would take me way
you.
longer than a month or two. So it first started like in 2003, but it really got its notoriety in about, 2013 with House of Cards. That was when binge watching became a really big deal.
I didn't really like House of Cards.
I didn't watch but about 1.5 of them. But I'm not a binge watcher, so even though they say binge watching movies are actually more in depth and have more psychological factors to it.
Yes, I think people
that to watch them, but I just it's hard to get in.
I'm gonna say this: I think people that binge watch are very smart people.
Well, they can be, or they can be mentally ill because it causes mental health issues.
Whoa! What do you mean it causes mental health issues? Wait a minute, you trying to say I'm crazy?
Well, see, people use it kind of like any other drug because it does help de-stress your brain.
I will admit, it does.
Then you're binge eating while you're binge watching.
I don't eat when I binge watch.
Well, you're one of the very few.
Well, I have to say kudos and pat myself on the back. When I binge watch, it's serious, okay? I just want you to know. There used to be this TV show called, I'm going to tell you my first time binge watching. Oh, true. You remember? No, you don't do it. But maybe you all out there would know that there was this TV show called Heroes. And I'm so into superhero movies. And this was a different take on... do you know anything about graphic novels?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, this was kind of like... Heroes was kind of like graphic novels. And I really, really loved it. And so I never saw it. And after I saw the first 2 episodes, I was hooked. And because I worked for myself, I literally lost like 4 days of my life.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
Because from one morning to the next morning, I fall asleep for 2 hours and wake up. I watched all 4 seasons in 4 days.
You're so amazing because
that's
when
right,
you
I know.
the topic up, he's always the poster child.
Wait a minute.
You're the poster child for just about every topic we bring up. This is so perfect because people start losing sleep. They don't eat well. They wake up and they'll be like, oh, how many things did I not get done in 4 days? And then some people, unlike yourself, feel guilty and ashamed and they haven't taken responsibility like paying bills and things like that. It leads to a cycle.
Yes.
Then they have to more binge watch, so it can be addictive.
Okay, so let me hit you with that because you just set me up with that about the whole poster child thing. But then what about the workaholic that should maybe watch TV like you? I'm just saying.
Well, there's some points to
Because somebody don't be knowing what's going on in the world sometimes. Between you doing Bible studies in the morning and going straight into work, when do you have time to even binge watch or even watch a TV
Well, that
show?
is one of the benefits of binge watching, and I have heard it from a lot of couples, is one of the reasons people like to binge watch is it brings commonality of communication between couples, so they find common themes within the binge watching, so they bond. I don't know how many couples I see when I say, what do y'all like to do together? Well, we have certain shows we like. I mean, I could probably say 7 out of 10 couples identify binge watching as one of their communion activities.
Yes, I love binge watching because, I think we're just messed up because, when it used to be regular TV and cable, you had to wait a week for your show to go on. And who wants to do that? Like, we're impatient in society now. We have fast food. We want TV fast. So when you binge watch, you remember in the 70s, the 80s, you like watching Dallas or something. JR gets shot. You gotta wait a whole week to figure out who shot JR. Not with binge watching, you just click the button or you just stay on it on Netflix and 10 seconds later it come on the next episode. I love it.
Yeah. Wait a minute, you just said something that just clicked in my brain.
Good.
So the reason I'm probably not familiar with binge watching is therapy is like old TV series. People come in, they tell me their story. I don't get to hear their story till another week later, or maybe another month later. So I just keep the curiosity going in my brain and the anticipation of what's happened next in their life.
So why don't you start a new therapy called binge therapy? Where if they say something at the end of your thing, you can just say, okay, we're going to go into your next session.
That's an interesting idea.
Don't do that. That's crazy. What are you talking about? You'll make a lot of money, but you'll be crazy too. You'll be like, this day on the falling out couple relationship. Hey, Fred. And then they'll be like, and you'll be like, okay, that was so interesting. I'm going to take y'all over into session 2.
But you know how it is?
You'll lose clients.
You know how it is like binge watching though?
Why?
The couple of times I've binge watched.
That's right.
And then it comes to an end all of a sudden abruptly, and there's no more seasons scheduled. And you don't know when it's going to change or when it's going to come back. Sometimes I'll have patients that just disappear completely. I mean, I won't know what happened. And 10 years later, they'll come back in and they'll be like, do you remember me? And I'll be like, oh yeah, I have your TV show in my head. And I'll start telling them exactly where we left off. They're like, dang, how do you remember that?
But that's part of rewriting your script though. You know, that's the thing. Like we always say when we tell people about rewriting your script, they say, well, what does that mean? It was like, just imagine if you are a writer for a movie or a television show. You get in there, and if the things are not turning out the way you want them to turn out, the way you want it to turn out, you just rewrite it. You know what I mean?
And I do like that about the binge watching, is because it's like they take it off and then they retweak it and decide what else it needs, or you know, what people may be looking for, and then when it comes back on, it's got a little different flavor. So it is kind of like rewriting your script.
Now, I would tell you something. I think one of the earlier forms of that was a precursor to binge watching was the stories.
Oh, the soap operas?
Yes.
Yeah.
We call them the stories where I come from. Because they left you in this frenzy. So that's what I was going to tell you. Now, I can see how mental health is affected by binge watching, because remember when I said I watched Heroes and I went through all 4 seasons? I'm not going to lie. They canceled it after the 4th season. And after 4 days of that, I'm like, what am I going to do now?
Well, it's true. That's one of the
you
results.
You get actually a little depression. You be like,
does cause mental health
now?
issues. And then wondering, you bond so much with the characters, you wonder, what happened to them?
Just like
it's like a death. And people literally go through grief, mourning feelings after a binge episode series stops.
Yes.
So those are all, like, if people have mental health issues on the Pro, it creates a dopamine, helps block worries of the day, and you can just get it absorbed. Like dopamine, though, you can get addicted to it.
Now, I see you got some statistics. What's this statistic right here? Tell me what that is.
This is kind of interesting that in 2015, binge watching went up 200% to the prior year.
I believe that.
And 73% of Americans watch 3 hours and 8 minutes of binge watching.
My goodness.
90% of millennials ages 20 to 33 binge watch, and 87% of Gen Z binge watch.
That's the whole world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except for the baby boomers.
So 40% say they watch at least 6 episodes, 5 hours each episode.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm running out of, like, I'm admit this, it's bad, but on Netflix, I've run out of stuff to watch. So now you know what I've done? I've gone to Hulu.
Oh, well, you just...
And then once I get through with Hulu, I'm going to go to... Those are networks.
Yeah.
And then after I get through with Hulu, which I'm almost finished, I'm going to Amazon Prime. I don't know what I'm going to do when I got an issue, like as most Americans. But TV is so good when you can binge watch, because you don't have to wait. But you do have that addiction that you want to see. So I have to fight myself having my own business, because, you know, the Bible said a man don't work, don't eat. And if you binge watching, you definitely can't work. So you definitely probably won't be.
Yeah, and it can create problems in relationships. Although, you know, in relationship therapy, I see probably the internet and stuff on the internet causing more problems than binge watching. I gotta admit, between couples, binge watching does not seem to be highly problematic. In fact, I don't remember when I've seen the last year where they've said it was a problem. They've all said, we like watching shows together.
But you know, you better not say that to the experts, because they will tell you that you got a problem, because people that binge watch have mental health issues. I would agree to a certain extent. But like you said, I'm the poster child for most of the stuff we talk about. You just threw me under the bus. That's cool. But the reality is this. We probably wouldn't have a show if I wasn't a poster child.
That is true.
I'm your experimenting.
You're my
I'm
experiment.
experimenting the specimen of the day.
It's like how many different shows can we have and highlight attributes, characteristics of Corey D. Taylor?
Well, you know what? It's a good thing that I'm not single and trying to get married, because after you just threw me under the bus, they'd be like, we don't want him because on this week's episode, that was his issue. Last week's episode, they've been around 13 episodes and they're all his issues. So,
well, this has been fun. And, I can see the pros and cons of it. I'm not a binge watcher, but, it doesn't mean I can't become one.
You need to watch some TV, though. You need to get hip to what's going on in the world. Some of the stuff is rooted in some good stuff. Not reality, but it's got some good undercurrents.
Yeah, what is it? The New Orange is Black. I've watched that some, but it got a little risque this last season, so I had to.
See, you had to binge watch to catch up, because I quit after season 1. So
the second season wasn't too good on that one. But the thing I did like about it was it did flip back to a lot of mental health issues.
And who's binged watched?
I did a little bit. I told you that.
All right then. Well, we're out of here. So I hope you've enjoyed our show today. This is a crazy show. So if you're out there binge watching, just know that you may develop some mental health problems, but not necessarily. I like to binge watch. She does a little bit of it. But until next time, I'm Corey Taylor.
And I'm Gina Pazzaglia.
And this is Happy, Healthy, and Crazy.
Love me tender, love me sweet.
True.
Oh, Elvis.
True.
I used to love Elvis.
I want a kissing and cousins. That's what makes it alright. I want to squeeze.
That used to be my movie, boy. I used to love Elvis. Nobody understood why I liked Elvis, because they said Elvis didn't like black people. But I was like, I don't care. I like Elvis.
He moved them hips.
I'm sitting on the right.